Deep in the woods of Washington State stands a fire lookout tower where the laws of physics have simply stopped working. And at the summit, a predator is waiting for the chance to step into your life and wear your skin like a suit.
Item number SCP-3333. Object Class Keter. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-3333 is to be monitored by a permanent containment team stationed at Outpost 9 Shadow on Suntop Peak. Access to the tower is strictly prohibited to all unauthorized personnel.
The trapdoor leading to the anomalous sections of SCP-3333 is to be locked and bolted with a high-grade titanium hatch. No further exploration of SCP-3333 is permitted under any circumstances following the events of Incident 3333 Prime. Any biological entities attempting to exit the tower from the trapdoor are to be terminated on site using incendiary weaponry.
Description: SCP-3333 refers to a spatial anomaly located within the Suntop Lookout, a fire lookout tower in Pierce County, Washington. The anomaly is accessed through a trapdoor in the ceiling of the lookout's internal cabin. Under normal circumstances, this trapdoor should lead to the roof. However, when opened, it reveals a ladder leading upward into an identical copy of the lookout cabin. This secondary cabin is designated SCP-3333-1. Each subsequent cabin contains its own trapdoor, which leads to another identical cabin stacked vertically. This sequence appears to be functionally infinite. As one ascends, the surrounding environment outside the tower changes. While the first few hundred iterations reflect the surrounding landscape of Mount Rainier National Forest, further ascent reveals a gradual thinning of the atmosphere, a lack of wind, and eventually the total absence of biological life outside the windows. The following is the compiled exploration data recovered from various Foundation expeditions into the tower. Exploration Log 1. Subject: Specialist Williams. Specialist Williams was equipped with a standard survival kit, a head-mounted camera, and a two-way radio. Williams began her ascent at 08 hours. For the first 2 hours, the ascent was unremarkable. Williams reported that each cabin was an exact replica of the base tower, containing the same furniture, books, and topographical maps. By the 400th iteration, Williams noted that the air was beginning to grow thin, requiring the use of supplemental oxygen. At iteration 520, the sun remained fixed in a permanent position of late afternoon, regardless of the actual time at the base of the tower. Williams reported a total lack of sound. Exploration Log 2. Subject: Specialist Meyer. Meyer was tasked with ascending past Williams' mark. Meyer reached iteration 700 within 5 hours. At this height, the view outside the windows had changed drastically. The forests were gone, replaced by a sea of gray clouds that stretched to the horizon in every direction. At iteration 900, Meyer reported that the internal structure of the cabins began to show signs of distress. The wood was warped and bleached white. The maps on the tables were blank. Most notably, Meyer reported seeing figures in the clouds, large, spindly shapes that moved with an unnatural gait. When he tried to focus his camera on them, the feed suffered from heavy static. Meyer began to report a feeling of intense dread and a tightness in his chest. He reached iteration 1000 and stopped. He reported that the trapdoor to the next level was made of a material that felt like cold, dried leather. He was ordered to descend immediately. Exploration Log 3. Subject: Specialist Null. Null was an experienced deep-crust explorer with high psychological resilience. She was ordered to push as far as possible. Null reached iteration 1200. At this level, the tower had become the sunless layer.
There was no light outside the windows, only an absolute, oppressive blackness.
At iteration 1400, Null found the first instance of SCP-3333-A. It was a mass of what appeared to be human remains, but upon closer inspection, they were not corpses. They were skins, dozens of them discarded in the corner of the cabin like old clothes. They were hollow, translucent, and completely devoid of internal organs, bone, or musculature.
Null noted that the skins were of Foundation personnel, including herself, Williams, and Meyer. However, we were all still accounted for at the base. Null requested an immediate abort of the mission. Command denied the request, citing the need for more data. At iteration 1500, Null stopped communicating. Her body camera remained active. The footage showed her entering a cabin that was entirely pitch black. As she panned her light around the room, the beam caught several entities standing in the corners.
They were tall, pale, and incredibly thin. They had no eyes, no noses, and no ears. Only a wide vertical slit where a mouth should be. These entities did not move. They simply stood, vibrating slightly. Null's breathing became rapid. She turned to the ladder to descend, but the trapdoor she had just come through was gone. In its place was smooth white wood. She turned back to the room, and the entities were closer. They were not walking. They were shifting positions in the frames of the video, appearing closer every time the camera panned away.
The last thing the camera recorded was one of the entities opening its vertical slit, revealing a series of needle-like appendages that reached out toward Null's face. The feed cut to static. Incident Report 3333 Prime. 2 hours after Null's signal was lost, the trap door at the base of the tower opened. Specialist Null descended the ladder. She appeared unharmed, but was uncharacteristically silent. She refused medical evaluation and attempted to leave the lookout tower.
When the site supervisor, Dr. Sanders, blocked her path, Null's behavior became erratic. She began to twitch. Dr. Sanders reported a foul odor emanating from Null, the smell of stagnant water and old meat. He noticed a slight bulge behind her neck.
When he reached out to touch her shoulder, Null's body seemingly collapsed. Her skin deflated instantly, falling to the floor in a heap. From the neck of the empty skin, a pale, spindly entity emerged. The entity moved with incredible speed, lashing out with its internal appendages. It moved towards Specialist Williams, who was standing nearby. Before the security team could react, the entity forced its way into Williams' mouth. Her body convulsed, her bones audibly snapping and reforming. Within seconds, Williams stood up. She looked at the guards, smiled, and said, "The air is much better down here." The site was immediately locked down. During the ensuing chaos, it was discovered that Specialist Meyer and Specialist Williams had already been replaced during their previous expeditions. They had been living among us for days. The entities within SCP-3333 are highly predatory, specialized mimics. They do not just eat their prey, they inhabit them. They consume the internal organs and skeletal structure, replacing them with their own highly compressible muscular bodies. Further analysis of the sunless layer suggests that SCP-3333 is not a tower at all, but a massive vertical feeding tube. The entities at the top are starving. The atmosphere up there cannot sustain life, and they have been waiting for someone to open the door. We have sealed the hatch. We have installed the incendiary failsafes. But there is a terrifying discrepancy in the logs. According to the gate access records, 4 individuals left the lookout tower during the initial shift change before the lockdown was finalized. We have only accounted for 3 entities.
Somewhere, one of them is out there, wearing the skin of a Foundation researcher, walking through our halls, and perhaps reading this report. If you are reading this, look at the person sitting next to you. Look closely at their neck. Watch the way they breathe.
If they don't seem to be inhaling quite enough air, or if their smile seems just a little too wide, do not alert them. Just run. The Foundation is always watching. Subscribe now to stay informed on the next containment